That's amazing. You really saw the gap and you're filling it. I
Mhm.
mean, that's so unique because Yada, you've been very humble because she has gone to MIT Sloan School of Management and now she's attending this Harvard. It's, Harvard. I mean, hello. And you've also got your Six Sigma green belt. So you've got a lot of power behind you. But I love how you're focusing in on this ADHD and these soft skills. So how did that come about?
Yeah, other of my interests. So when wanted to continue that approach of soft skills, and the ADHD came, and it was because I have a son who's been diagnosed. He's 9 years old now, a wonderful,
Mm.
super smart person, and I've decided, there were some challenges when it comes to that. So I decided to learn more. That instead of aside from looking for, hey, I need. Of course, I get the support from a psychologist, but I want to get also an ADD coach. And I figured, hey, I can learn this as well. So I want to be able
Yeah.
to provide support and give the tools for my kid that he needs. So it started as a personal venture in terms of trying to get that coach and the coaching certification. And the group that I was with, there were a lot of professional adults, and it happened to be that 99% of them were people with ADHD themselves, and realizing, hearing from their struggles, their day to day lives, their same issues with productivity or time management or setting boundaries or negotiation. I realized there's a need as well. There's not like a cookie cutter approach for soft skills. There's like also a need to cater to individual needs, regardless of what they are. So that's when I decided to launch, have or mix the two, meaning soft skills coaching. And particularly if you're a person that has ADHD and want to be able to do that, then I have the tools right now to help with that. So that's how I mix it too, in the sense of soft skills coaching. And that's why I say individualized approach, because that's why you need having that knowledge of ADHD firsthand, then I'm able to provide a better support to individuals.
I love that. And let's finish talking about ADHD and then we'll get into soft skills. What are some tools or strategies you use with people in the workplace who come to you and say, "Oh, I've got ADHD. I'm having challenges." What are some of the tools that you like to use with them or coach them through? Whether it's the same thing you do with your son or what you do in the workplace, because this stays with you, all through life. It's how you manage it, right?
Yeah, and I'm glad to you asked that question because, for example, as I was learning about productivity, you read books about productivity that say do the hardest thing first, or just set up a time for each thing and try to maximize your day. So when in a person with ADHD, and knowing my son as well, is that you have to have there's a particular approach that works for you. For example, if you tell me to do the hardest thing first, I will procrastinate like to no end. And because I just don't want to get to that, I want to do something fun first. And that varies, of course. ADHD person, it's different, but it when it comes to you have to have some sort of perhaps fun a little bit, and then you get to that particular task that perhaps you don't want to do. And transitions as well are super important because task switching, like I had a client that she was saying that basically the whole shifting, if she's focused on something that she is focused and enjoys, then switching into being like asked to somebody for somebody to do something else, it's like it physically hurts. So it's just something that task
Mm.
switching also, and I've seen it with my son. Like if he's involved in a task, I have to give like warnings, like, hey, 5 minute warning, I'm about to take the pad from you so you can go do homework. So things
Mm-hmm.
like that. So yeah, those are some of the tools, and I keep learning more and more about how to approach, instead of telling a person that it's ADHD, I did this is the path that you need to follow to be productive. They can still, any we all can achieve the level of productivity that we
Mm-hmm.
want, that we consider it's productivity. It's just different techniques for everybody.
And I love that. I love that you say it's different techniques for everybody. And I also think, I know we all have a form of ADHD, right? And all the multitasking we're doing doesn't help with that. So I have problems sometimes with task switching because I'm into something, right? So it's the same thing, but it is interesting how you talk about, instead of doing the hardest thing, do what gives you energy that's fun for you the first thing in the morning. I love that. and then and then just kind of knowing who you are and what you need, and that's why I love layering strengths in with as you're coaching with somebody, because then it helps them know, oh, okay, I've got input that's going to give me energy if I get to research something first thing in the morning,
Yeah.
or does that make sense,
Yeah,
Yadi?
absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned the strengths because that's one of the things that we learn as coaches is that and also something that I learned at Harvard too, that there's this particular focus on focusing on our weaknesses and improving into those things that we are, not so good at. But we should start from our strengths.